my first full month doing DoorDash. How much did I make? What do I think? The highs and lows, and is it worth it? Well, I just completed my fourth full week doing DoorDash, and for the past 3 weeks, I have made videos documenting down to the cents how much I made each week, how many hours I worked, etc. I've even done a playlist on my channel called DoorDash to document some of these videos. So now, yesterday, I finished my fourth and final week, and now I've completed 1 full month working DoorDash, and I have made a grand total of $1,900 gross. So I'm just using round numbers. It was a little bit more than that, but I just want to use round numbers. So $1,900 gross. That's pre-tax, pre-expense. Your major fixed expense that you have to account for because it comes out of your pocket to get that $1,900 is gas expense. Your gas for your vehicle has to be deducted immediately from that $1,900, whatever you make gross, because you spent that in order to get the $1,900. So I spent around $400 in gas. Again, I'm using round numbers to make this very easy to digest. Excuse me. I think you can figure, based on now doing a month, for the average person, average vehicle, I think you can average around, figure 20% of what you gross is going to be gas expenditures. So if you do DoorDash for one day and you make $100, for the average person, you got to figure on about $20. If you make $100, deduct 20, because that's how much you're going to spend in gas, approximately. So for the month, I made $1,900 gross. Immediately, you need to deduct gas, so got to deduct $400. I'm left with $1,500. Now, that is not accounting for all my expenses, because you have to account for your mileage, wear and tear, which is a write-off. Because again, officially, you are a independent contractor. You signed a tax form stating such. You work for DoorDash as an independent contractor, and one of your tax write-offs is mileage deduction. So now, it's not a fixed hard expense as far as like gas. So for that mileage deduction, it's kind of, you just need to track and document for the end of the year when you do your income tax return. Because it's something that is calculated using a formula. I use the Stride tax app, and basically what it is you download the Stride tax app. It's it's Stride, STRIDE, Stride tax app. And when you start a shift, you hit start a drive, and it will use your GPS coordinates and track the mileage and automatically calculate the deduction that you are, given based on, the current calculations for deductions. So you don't have to go crazy with that. You need to keep the receipts for any maintenance, car insurance, cell phone, anything you use to execute the delivery. You use your phone. That's a cell phone bill, that's cell phone cost. You use your car insurance, a certain amount, any maintenance. So you got to figure about all those things. But cash flow is kind of basically determined by your gross minus your gas cost. And so basically, the cash flow of $1,500 per month is good. Now, the first week I made about $600. I worked a lot of hours, like 60. Those aren't hours I was working every hour, because it was just hours I was logged on as an active user. And then progressively, then I made the next week like $500 and change. And then the last 2 weeks around $400. So, I progressively dialed down, because this is a side job, a side hustle, not my main job. So I wanted to be sustainable, not burn myself out. So I kind of trying to figure out the ins and outs this first month as I gathered data. So I figure, even if I only gross $1,700 a month, I think I want to dial it maybe down a little bit more. The bottom line is I should be able to cash flow over $1,000 per month after gas and some other expenditures. It won't account for all my expenditures at the end of the year with the mileage and wear and tear and everything, but it's still good cash flow. And the highs are when you do an easy delivery, a feeling of accomplishment, the flexibility to have a schedule whenever you want, to take hours, to turn down hours, to take an order, to turn down an order, to work from anywhere. You're your own boss. Extreme flexibility and ownership of your job. You're not reporting to a boss. You're not in an office. Huge high. Low is when a delivery goes wrong, your ratings go down, and if your ratings go low enough, they could deactivate you. There's an issue with the order. You get a double order and accept, and you're running late. Traffic jam, GPS brings you to the wrong location, apartment building not labeled properly at night. So those are some highs and some lows. Is it worth it? For me, it still is. And I will make it at this point. I'll continue to evaluate it. I'll make it part of my lifestyle as a side hustle, side revenue, side cash flow, which is a good feeling to know, like if something ever happened with your main job, you have income coming in. Because on this channel, I preach living below your means. Not everyone's going to live out of their car. Not everyone's going to live mobile. If you do live mobile and you're single, I mean, I think DoorDash should definitely be in your arsenal for most people. Not for everyone, but it's a huge asset. And, you know, making over $1,000 a month clear is good. I mean, $1,500 cash flow. So that's good. I still think it's worth it. I enjoy driving. I'm in Florida. I enjoy driving in nice weather. I think location matters. The more metropolitan area, the more orders. If you get too much into the city, parking is an issue. So you kind of want to find not a dead suburb, not a, height of the heart of the city, but somewhere like in between metropolitan area. But it's had its highs, lows, but more highs than lows for me. So far, so good. It's still worth it for me. $1,900 gross, $1,500 after taxes, after gas, excuse me. And yeah, you'll still have to do your taxes and everything like that on that. But after your mileage, after your different deductions, it's going to be mitigated. And you're still going to be clearing. I mean, even if you made what I made, you're still going to be clearing money. You should be. That's my experience, 1 month. I'll continue to make videos periodically to document my DoorDash journey and how I like it or how I don't. Again, flexibility is the greatest part of it. So, I could take 2 weeks off and never log on and then decide I want to log on again. But I'll leave on this note. Doesn't matter if it's DoorDash, Uber, your main job, your side job. No job gets done without work. You can't just have the app on your phone with the bag and never log on. You can't do one delivery and log off and expect to make $1,500 or $1,900 a month. You got to put in the work. You got to log on. You got to stay log on. You got to go through bad deliveries and keep showing up. Showing up is 90% of success. Doesn't matter if it's the gig economy, the tech economy, the construction economy. Doesn't matter what economy it is. You got to show up, check items, contact the customer if there's an issue, and do the best you can. It may work for some people, it may not, but overall, I'm thankful for the experience. Peace and love.